Okay, before we carry on to do more graphing with equations, we need to see what we mean by the gradient of a line. So the gradient is the slope of the line. The steeper the slope, the higher the gradient. If the line goes up to the right, it is a positive gradient. If the line goes down to the right, it's a negative gradient. If the line is horizontal, it is a zero gradient. And if the line is vertical, there is no gradient. That means it's undefined. It's different than being zero gradient. Okay, so the gradient of a line is how much it goes up as to how much it goes along. So if it goes along quite a way and only a little bit up, here's your gradient of the line, it's quite shallow. If the line only goes a little bit along and quite a lot up, it is steeper and it is a larger gradient. So the gradient is the rise over the run, the rise divided by the run. And you need to remember that. So let's see if we can find the gradient of this line. Now what you have to do is to choose 2 corner points first. And a good place to look is the y-intercept here. Goes through a whole number, goes through a corner, we're going to start there. Okay, we're then going to go up the line until we see it goes through another corner. And we will complete that triangle. And this will tell us what the gradient is. You count how many it goes along. 1. How many does it go up from here? 1, 2, 3. So the length of that line is 3. So the gradient, and often the gradient is m. What does it equal? Rise over run, 3 over 1, which is 3. And it's positive, because you always go along first. If you go up to the line, it's positive, and if you go down to the line, it's negative. And we'll have a look at that in the next line. Okay, so let's look at a corner point. Look at the y-axis first. Yes, it does go through there. Choose that point there. Now we always go to the right. Run to the right first. So always to the right. Okay, we need to pick the other next point it goes through first though, and there it is there. Now we run to the right, and this time we have to go down to the line, down to that cross. And so we know the gradient is going to be negative. The rise is 2, the run is 1, and so the gradient is negative 2 over 1, which is negative 2. Now it doesn't matter if you've chosen a different point. You could choose that point and this point. What will happen is you'll go 2 over 4, 4 over 2, which is still negative 2. So the gradient is the same all the way along the line. So it doesn't matter which intersections you choose, but you just may have to simplify it. Okay, here's another couple of lines. Let's do the blue one first. Yes, it goes through the y-intercept there. Let's go along till we get right up there is the first time it crosses through a corner. Okay, count the rise over the run. We know it's positive because we're going to the right and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares up and 1 across, so the gradient is 5 over 1, which is 5. Okay, let's try the pink one. Go through there. Okay, I'm going to choose this one here this time. Okay, let's pink gradient. we go across 2. Now we have to go down to the line, so it's going to be a negative gradient. So it's going to be 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's rise over run, so it's negative 6 over 2, and that will simplify to negative 3. Now I could have chosen 2 different points, but you'll get negative 3 when you simplify it. And that's how you find the gradient of a straight line.